Hey y'all. So I'm gonna tell you this crazy dream I just had. It was pretty crazy. I was pretty emotional when I woke up, and probably for the last 5-10 minutes. So I thought I'd go make myself a cup of coffee while I gather my thoughts and come tell you guys about my dream. I guess take it however you feel you need to take it, because I don't know. I don't know.
It's understandable.
So it looked different at the end. That's why I thought it was one thing. I don't know if I was kidnapped by aliens. I don't know if I traveled to the past. I don't know. It could have been as well, right? Because I want to put everything out there. Just this dream was very realistic. I don't even know if it was him or not. I want to say Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage? That's a person, right?
Yeah, he's an actor. A very famous actor.
He's a boy actor, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, a man. I can find his picture if you want me to when I get off of my phone. Her SD card is full, folks, so she's recording on my phone right now.
And my phone's about to die. It's at 6%. It was at 7%. Let me see if that's him. I wrote a name on my wrist, but it's gone. I was writing stuff on me in my dream.
So that you wouldn't forget.
So I wouldn't forget. But I didn't. This place, I don't know. My arms aren't very long anyway. So if I had a long sleeve shirt on, it would cover all my arms. But the arms there, like the shirts, they didn't go all the way to your wrist. They went here. Time is running out. That's what that thing just popped up on my freaking thing. I'm telling you, give your life to God. We literally went past this lady, and she had Genesis 19:1-25, talking about Sodom and Gomorrah and how we destroyed the city. I don't know.
I was on the bus yesterday.
It was some crazy stuff, but they only went to about here. So, I don't know. 5 inches or something, 6 inches or something.
Harley, come here. Harley. Harley. Harley, come here. Come here. Sit down. All right. Yes, there are people in the garage.
Who's Stanley Cooper?
That name I don't know.
But this person looked almost like Keanu Reeves because his hair was different. Okay, so I'm going to write down these 3 people because that's just what's coming up to my mind. But Nicolas Cage was the first person that came up to my mind, but his hair was kind of like Keanu Reeves. And he wears the same type of clothes too. Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture of him. I'm just showing you a picture. Okay, let's look up, because Stanley Cooper. Maybe. An American film director. Oh my God. So movies that he directed, outer space, What is this? A Space Odyssey.
That was a good movie.
The Shining, Clockwork Orange, Eyes Wide Shut.
Those are horror films.
I'm telling you, Terry, like, when I really woke up, I was actually really kind of scared.
I know.
I cried when I woke up. Today would be a day for someone to have a shot of whiskey. Full Metal Jacket, Doctor Strangelove, Barry Lyndon. Let's look up. He had the flu. He died.
That's Stanley Cooper. He must have had a very weak immune system if he died from the flu.
He is easily one of the greatest filmmakers in history. And it's Kubrick, actually. Sharp social satire, untraditional framing techniques, and complex storylines distinguished him as a maverick director who has been replicated and repeated ever since. Well, I don't know, but y'all freaking me out. But I was a girl, and it was me. My phone's about to die. My phone's about to die quick.
Plug it in.
I want to look up Keanu Reeves.
Excuse me, honey.
Yeah, this person's hair was long like him. It could have been him, but look, you see how he like has... I'm gonna go back to that other guy real quick.
Plug your phone in.
Well, my phone has to be shut off. Hey, Bixby. Don't listen. Shut off phone.
Are you sure?
Of course. So I just at least showed you them.
I can find Keanu on my tablet. You can show them on.
I just showed them all three of them.
Oh, okay.
But that's kind of weird, in particular, that I just had a crazy-ass dream, and that Stanley Cooper, I don't even think I even knew his name. I'm not watching movies on a regular fucking basis and looking up actors and actresses. I know, I can tell you that. So that's pretty scary that we're gonna have to watch some of those movies now.
Well, I know most of them are, like I said, they're like a horror film type. I don't know. I really haven't watched them, so I can't say.
You know what I
certain,
see? I see somebody and they're going like this.
Well, if they're telling you to hush, that means you need to talk about it.
Okay. Good job, Terry, for not listening. Ain't that something, huh, Harley?
Unless it's God telling you to hush, you gotta talk about it.
Harley. Oh, Harley, I love you so much. So the first thing that I did when I was in this dream, I came back from a trip or something. I just came back. But guess where I went?
I don't know.
Where's my hell?
It's Carrie's house.
I'm telling you, whenever I go to my stepmom's house, no offense to her or anything, I'm not pushing anything harmful to her or anything, whatever, okay? However, I have noticed in my dreams when I go back to that house, it is my hell. Everybody has a hell on the planet. No offense, but that's just my hell. So when I go to that place inside my dream, it's something that tells me, pay attention. And that house did not look like my house, like growing up and stuff. Everything was nice and clean and not expensive, but let's just say very upgraded.
Okay.
Everything was nice. Nice furniture, nice walls. It smelled good. It looked nice.
Harley.
Get over here. I'm tired. Okay, I just want to try and put this message out. Thank you for barking whatever you need to bark out of the system. But if you're just barking at a human, we just gonna need you to calm the fuck down. Thank you. That's right. This video's already been 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I love you. Okay. And everything was nice. I went downstairs into my room because my room was down in the basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
It did not look like my room. It did not look that nice. And the bathroom was spot on, okay? It was nice. There was a bathtub and a tall shower, like a tall shower, glass shower or whatever. You know how you go into one of those master suite showers or bathrooms and they have like the shower and the tub and everything looks nice and it's huge, right? That's what my bathroom looked like. And I was like, bitch, you know my motherfucking bathroom ain't never looked like that. So I was just like, you better stay awake, right? Stay the fuck up. But one thing in particular, my brother Alex was alive, but a lot of my other siblings were not. Red flag. Alex had this nice, he had the whole upstairs. I think Christian was alive, but I cannot guarantee it. But I know Haley was not alive, and I know Lexus was not alive. They didn't exist.
They were never born in your dream.
I can't guarantee on Christian, but Christian wasn't Malcolm's. He was like a baby, if anything. But no, I really do think that, I'm not sure, but I think that if Christian existed, he was a baby, and it was Alex and me. Xavier existed. I saw Xavier in my dream too.
Okay. What about TT? Okay.
So, I needed some things, right? Just normal, regular, schmegular things.
Stuff.
Yeah, so she took me to the store. Okay, well, we went to the store, and you know me, I grab stuff fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we were waiting for something. We were waiting for like a prescription or something. Oh my god, am I fucking crazy? I bet people feel crazy, especially for feeling what they feel. They probably get put on medicine. I don't know what the medicine was, but I know that I dropped some piece of paper off at this desk and they're like, it's going to be 10 minutes. So I went around the store getting the stuff that I need. It wasn't like a mall or anything. It was literally like probably like a Walgreens or a Walmart or something.
Walgreens is what I thought of.
Yeah, something, it was just a store, but it was not anything crazy. And so I was like, oh, I need this, oh, I need this, oh, I need this, oh, I need this, oh, I need this. And so I just got some stuff. One thing that I forgot was some witch hazel. And that's one of the things I actually need. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I need to go get that. But when I went to go get that, my medicine was up. And she's like, oh, I'll go get that for you. And here's something too. It had to have been something crazy like a Walgreens, because I also went to the doctor, but I didn't go to the doctor. I was just like talking to them. Like there was like a doctor's office inside the store. Like it was connected. So it had to have been something silly, like a Walgreens. A long time ago, we're going to do some research on some Walgreenses. I don't know if like a long time ago, Walgreenses used to be more of like a doctor's office and or whatnot and a store.
I'm not sure if they ever actually had a doctor there, but I know that they used to have a nurse.
And they literally, no joke, it wasn't a huge thing, right? They had like 4 or 5 like rooms in the back, right? For people to go in to like actually be seen, like a clinic, like a small clinic and store, like combined into one.
Okay.
And there was like what, 1, 2, there was like a room for people to dress in. So they must have had something. This store was not very big, but they must have just had enough stuff. Must have been like a convenience store. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, get your get your health and things here. But there was an area for it. And everything, nothing looked dirty, right? But was already a red flag when I was at Carrie's. A second red flag, I was talking to the ladies up at the nurse, and they actually asked me something. They're like, cheese insignificance is the smell that they were smelling. They were smelling cheese. I don't know why, but they were smelling cheese. And they thought that, they're like, do you smell like cheese? So I was like, smell myself, make sure I didn't smell like cheese. And they're like, oh, actually, my nurse, our male nurse said, that the lady that they just helped smelled like cheese. And I looked back at her, she was in a wheelchair, and she was an older lady. So I went to kind of get her a little bit, and I was like, just take her in the back. I was like, and get a female nurse to just like check her out real quick to make sure, there ain't nothing.
No infections.
No infections anywhere, literally. And they're like, this is going to freak me out. They all looked at me. And they said, a female nurse? What is that?
Yeah.
Think about that for a fucking second. I was like, what the fuck you mean? I was like, a lady person, nurse. I was like, they have nurses all over the place. I'm like, you guys don't have a female nurse? They're like, no. So it had to have been at a time, the look that they gave me, there was one woman working in this little area thing, but she was doing like the computer or bringing people in or something like that. And it was like her whole face lit up and looked straight at me. Everybody else was kind of like looking at me like I was fucking crazy, right? I was like, there are because I'm thinking that I'm here in the world 20. I kept asking for the year, and it was like nobody could give me the exact date. As crazy as it sounds.
I think that you gave that woman hope that maybe she could be a nurse.
I literally looked her direct in the face. I said, if they didn't trust you to check in their patients, I was like this, then they would be able to trust you with other things too. I said, you probably know just as much. She had like a little tiny screen, like a little tiny computer screen. Like it was tiny.
Kind of like a tablet would be.
Yes, but it looked like, how like our old computers used to look like forever ago? Like but it was tiny.
Yeah.
And she was just typing away, just clicking people in and out and getting information and sending them on back. But they were all boys. And the lady that was there, she wasn't super old, but she wasn't super young. I don't know, maybe 30s or 40s or something.
So a little older than you.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably up there. Or maybe we hear Lilo.
So, that super freaked me out. And it was like, I don't know if I just walked away or if someone led me away, but I went back into the store. I was like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here before somebody thinks I'm fucking crazy. But that kind of freaked me out. Think about that. I don't know when nurses started to come available, like female nurses, but I don't think any of them existed.
Well, the first nurse that I know of in history, and I'm sure there were some before her, was Florence Nightingale. And she worked in the, I believe it was the Civil War era. She was the one that you always heard about being on the battlefield tending to the wounded.
So, red flag, right? So here goes me walking back into the thing, got my medicine, and they came and brought my medicine to us. It wasn't like I went there and got it. They're like, here's your stuff, right? Had all my stuff, right? Paid and gone. Went back to the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dropped all my stuff off, and I kept looking around, and I was like, this stuff does not make sense. Then there's this girl, her name was Rachel. I won't say her last name. I actually was like, who the fuck cares at this point? Rachel Fuller, right? She was at Carrie's house, and she just would not stop staring at me. Like, she had the most nastiest look on her face looking at me. Like, she was irritated or mad, and like, Carrie was literally, like, no joke, she was super calm, easy, nice, sweet, everything. She was like, what do you need?
From what you've told me about Carrie, and I have never met her, that does not sound like her.
I mean, think about it. If she never had 38,000 fucking kids underneath her fucking roof, I think she was, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, either married to my dad or with my dad. My dad did something as a job because the house looked great. Yeah. Larry was there, Carrie's dad.
Okay.
And so they were talking and or whatnot, and she leaves the house. And now in front of Carrie's house, we have this huge window. And then on the side, there's a window. But the door itself is a regular door. But the screen door is a glass door. So you could see through it, see through it, see through it. She's like, all right, I'm going to leave. And so she grabs her purse, right, her bag. And she, like, walks backwards. This is the fucking creepy. She walks backwards and, like, sideways and walks behind the house instead of the front of the house to leave to go home.
Okay, that is weird.
And the whole time she did that, she looked at me and she was literally like, I was like, what the fuck did I do to you, bitch?
Now that was Rachel that did that?
Ain't that something? Nobody thought anything of it, so I was just like, I don't fucking know, right? So we left again. I went and changed some clothes, or I changed something, and me and Carrie went to another place. Where we went in particular, we went to some place, but it ended up being, I think it was like a casino, like a place where you can gamble or something. And they're like, you have to go through all of here and then go to the back, and we talked to somebody, right? And they're like, you just gotta basically wrap around, right? and at the end you'll see a gaming room, right? And outside that gaming room, there'll probably be a person out there to help assist you. So just kept walking around, and all the way of walking, there was like all these like little, well, not restaurants, like food places.
Like a food kiosk.
Yeah, like a food little court or something. So we just kept going, and we had to turn into like a U type thing, and it went back down and around. And then there was a gaming room, and the gaming room didn't look anything crazy. It just looked like a door, and looked like it was not very bright, but it was kind of dark in there. Most gaming rooms are usually pretty dark in there. And then there was this person sitting outside the gaming room, just like at a table. Not a big deal, right? Probably had to buy tickets or something.
Maybe check IDs.
Yeah, so that's exactly what he did. And I was like, oh crap, I don't even have, I was like, never mind, I can't even do any of this stuff. But then something was like, pull into your pocket. So I pulled into my pocket, and I had two things. I don't remember what the other thing was. It was like gray and black, and there was like either circles and stars or something on it. Had something on it. Like maybe it was a rewards thing or something. I actually don't know. And I had my ID. So I was just like, oh shit, okay. Well, I have my ID. But I was like, oh, I don't even have any money. But she's like, don't worry about it. She said, I got you. She said, you're acting kind of weird today. You have no idea. So I gave them my ID. So I just slid it all just right across the table, right? Not a big deal. Like, literally, in my mind, right? Not a big deal, right? And they're like, that looks a little weird. They're like, actually, maybe my computer's just, or my little thing is messing up. Can you give me a second? Can I take your ID and just go check it into this system? It was like like back in the counter, right? There was like 4 or 5 people. So probably just like another thing. They probably just had someone up at the front to just do some simple things. And I don't know if it just was, I was like, oh yeah, sure. My picture was pulling up as a boy. That Nicolas Cage person, or whoever the fuck person, right? That's who was pulling up. But I look like me.
That is weird.
So I was just like, what? So they had a pen on their table, like a pen and paper, right? And stuff like that. They were just checking people in. So I literally wrote it on my arm. Like literally on my arm. But it is not there. It's not there. I was like, oh, maybe we should get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. That was definitely weird.
I was also, so I have my Aunt Diane, Diane, okay, Adam, Derek. First of all, he looked really good. Derek is my cousin. I'm not gonna say anything, no offense to him, not being a jerk, right? I'm just talking about my dream. He was really handsome in my dream. But in real life, he kind of looks like a little bit of a hot mess. So you can definitely tell the difference.
Okay.
Great guy, both dream in real life, right? Just night and day difference of appearance wise.
Okay.
He was a doctor. Okay. And that time when I was at the desk, rambling off about stuff, and I'm always talking, so I was probably just rambling. And I was talking about medications, and I was talking about, like, different things, and I was talking about the nurses, and I was talking about stuff like that. And I just kept saying stuff that they had never heard before. So that's pretty strange.
Yeah.
I went somewhere. I don't really know where, but there was a bunch of cats, like a bunch of baby cats.
Kittens.
And one of them in particular, I think, was Wilfred. I think I saw Wilfred as a baby. I thought something. But the house or the place that he was at, it was like real crazy looking. It was like dirty. And okay, so I went into Carrie's house, but guess where I left out of my dream? Where's the other place that I go?
The school.
Yes, but no.
Well, I know that you have visited your mom's house, but...
Are you not following along? Am I just a show to you?
No, you are not just a show.
You say you listen, right? Where do I go? I went into Carrie's house, right? But where did I come out of? Another place that I go. Not the school, but I have gone to the school.
You have visited so many places.
The same few places always pop up. I always go to crazy places, but the same few places of where I end up and where I go and leave are usually the same.
I can't think of it. The only places
Don't grab your coffee. Don't do that.
The only places that I can think of are Carrie's house and the school.
And where else? I'm really testing you, Miss Terry, because literally, no joke, you listen to a lot of my craziness and or whatnot, and if you can't answer anything when I'm talking to you, then honestly, I don't know what to say and or what to do, because I really already feel like you don't listen to me as it is, and you never remember, and you just look at me like I'm just some show reading off a manuscript off of something to tell you about this dream, or any of these crazy dreams that I seem to have. I don't know how to keep up with your craziness. What do you want from me? You'll shake your head no.
Give me a minute. Well, I know you go to your Grandma Pat's.
There you go. Ain't that so weird? She just pulled that right out of her ass. And that's exactly where I went. That's where I was coming out of, okay? As soon as I came out of my grandma's house, I ended up being in like some alleyway. Like the town that I was in or wherever, whether I was in the East Moline area or somewhere, I don't actually know. I actually don't know. Well, she doesn't even live in East Moline. Quad City area? I don't fucking know. The world did not look the same. Everything probably wasn't super destructed, but it was a little messy. And the lights on the streets, like the street light lamps, they weren't on. And I don't know if I had found a phone or a phone. It was my phone or your phone or the phone or whatever phone, right? But the screen was cracked. The screen was cracked. But I was still able to call. And I actually ended up calling my grandma because I was just like, oh my God, I feel like I've been away for so long. That's just what I was feeling. So I called her and she's like, yes, right? And I was just like, Grandma, and right, and all this stuff. And she was just like, actually, she's like, she was like telling me, I was just like, I thought she would be like, I don't even know what I thought she would be like. I thought she would be worried and she'd be like, oh, nice to hear from you or whatever or anything like that. But she was actually telling me about my cousin, right? That was a doctor. And he was like, actually, Derek he's like, he was actually pretty surprised about some of the stuff that you knew. He said, and some of the medications that you were talking about, and some of the effects that it has. He said he never knew something like that before, so it made him dig into his research a little bit more, because you made him, I don't know, think about it or something like that. He would like to have a conversation with you about it. And I'm like, okay, well, I gotta tell you about whatever. So before she told me that, that's kind of when I was telling her, I was like, okay, so this is gonna sound really crazy, right? I was like, but you know how, like, in those movies where this is crazy. You know how, like, in those movies where you see, like, a flying saucer goes above the house and, like, people go inside of it and they don't know what happens to them?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, people watch those all the time. I said, that's what happened to me.